Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much, Ms. Marina. Hello and welcome to the distinguished annual event, the Queen Rania Teacher Academy Forum 2024, under the theme Collaborative Pathways Elevating Education Through Partnerships. We extend our sincere gratitude to all of you for attending and welcome you to this year's forum. Established in 2009, the Queen Rania Teacher Academy is a non-profit organization that embraces the vision of Her Majesty Queen Rania Al Abdullah to enhance the quality of education by empowering teachers and educators with its essential skills. QRTA offers innovative, high-quality professional development programs across Jordan and the Arab world. QRTA actively supports the educational community, reflecting its commitment to advancing education and enhancing educators' skills through a variety of specialized initiatives. These initiatives provide opportunities for continuous learning and advanced training for teachers and school leaders. As part of these efforts, QRTA hosts an annual forum that gathers distinguished educators and experts from around the world to share experiences, foster innovation, and promote collaboration in education. This year's forum stands out with an impressive lineup of workshops and panel discussions designed to inspire partnerships and empower educators. Our sessions focus on equipping participants with practical tools and strategies to enhance learning environments, foster collaboration, and address the evolving challenges in education. Before we begin, we would like to remind you that a certificate of attendance will be available. We also invite you to participate in the feedback survey, which will be shared with you before the workshop ends. Your insights will help us enhance our future events. Thank you for your participation and valuable presence. Please allow me to introduce Mrs. Marina Watt, the presenter of this workshop. Mrs. Marina is the co-founder of Brandstorm Communications and the creator of social media platform, A Little Something by Marina Watt. She has also developed educational resources such as a picture book about corona prevention, affirmation cards, and magic dice during the pandemic. Through social media and online media platforms, she shared on parenting and conducted free webinars featuring international scholars and artists for Hong Kong's children. Ms. Marina, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Randa. Can you all hear me well? Thank you. Thank you. Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon to you all, wherever you are. Thank you, Randa, for the introduction. And I would like to thank, first of all, Queen Rania Teacher Academy for having me today. And apart from Randa has just mentioned, giving an introduction of me, that I have many hats, like a co-founder of a communications agencies. Actually, I'm also a student, now doing my doctoral program in education with the University of Bristol. Apart from that, may I also proudly mention that I'm also a mother to our beautiful 10-year-old daughter. We're based in Hong Kong. So thank you for having me today to share about, as a parent, the role of a parent and the parent volunteers. So let me begin. By giving you walkthrough of what we are having today. From first, I would give a brief introduction as a parent, what I am doing, what I have been doing, and also the role of a parent in education. And I would also like to draw the example of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, how we are doing it in Hong Kong and at our schools in Hong Kong and at community level, and using my own resources as a parent. And last but not least, I will also share my personal experience as a parent in implementing SDGs in Hong Kong and in our community. And to end the whole presentation, I will leave some time for Q&A, so that I hope this section will be as interactive as possible, so that we can, not only me talking, but also we could share our experience with the other participants as well. So a little bit more background about myself. So as Randa has mentioned, I have been working in the education field for quite some years. And this is me and my daughter and my family. And then, well, actually, I established my social media platform since COVID. because I'm also a student in education. So I think that I would be able to make use of my own experience advising different philanthropic organizations, school communities on how best they could make use of their resources for education. So I could leverage on different resources, networks, and platforms to help other parents as well as myself what our children can learn best during COVID. Because we all know that over the past 3 years, because of COVID, we're all stuck at home. So our kids could not go back to school to have a normal face-to-face learning. So they had to learn online. So during COVID time, I established my social media platform and sharing different education resources with a focus on parenting, parent education. As you can see from the right-hand column, because I'm based in Hong Kong, so most of my media columns and my social media platform are in Chinese, but some of the articles that are media articles that I wrote are English. So as you can see in the screen on the right-hand column, top column, there is the motivational cards that I created during COVID with my daughter, because during COVID, social, emotional, because we have been stuck at home. So why I created all these, these educational tools with my daughter, and then we put it up online, and then for other parents and other educators, other kids to download it for free. And then one publisher in Hong Kong, they publish it also for free for parents in Hong Kong so that they can make use of these educational tools. It's called affirmation cards to share with their kids at home. And these cards are very handy. And then it has also both English and Chinese version so that they can make use of. Okay, so thank you for the comment. I would take it slow. So if there's any other questions that you would like me to address on in particular, you can leave your comment in the chat, and I will try my best to talk slowly. And thank you for the reminder. So this is about all the media columns that I wrote about me, education and parenting. Hoping to share my views on what the latest trends and what parents out there. So this is Facebook. So if you're interested, you can take a look, follow it. After the section, if you have any other questions in mind, feel free to drop me a Facebook inbox message. Happy to, to further our discussions. So why don't we have some ice-breaking moment, interactive moments here before we, delve into, the topic as a parent or parent volunteer, what we could do in terms of education to help our children, our future generation. So why don't we have these interactive moments? And I would like our participants to type in the chat room. What do you think in terms of education? How would you describe the relationship between teacher, student, and parent? I would love to hear from you. If you could open the chat room and type your response below in the chat room, I'll be most much appreciated it. So if your answer would be, you think A, it will be a collaborative relationship between teacher, student, and parent. Please type A. Direction between teacher, student, and parent. Please type B. If you think it would be C, more likely would be only teacher and student connect, and parent has no role to play. Please type C. Or if you think otherwise, D, it would be only parent and student connect. Please type D. Or the answer for E would be parent has no role to play in education. Welcome your answers in the chat room. I have already seen quite a lot of answers in the chat room. Quite a lot of answers going for A. And I'll leave it for like 10 seconds more. Or I could see somebody's typing two answers at the same time, B or E, B and E. So maybe they're not sure, right? Or it depends. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for all your thank you. And yeah, because I mentioned it is an interactive moment, so I could see a hand. Our friend here like to share your feedback to this question with us. Brenda, do I have to unmute this gentleman, or can he speak? Yes, please. Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Mohammed from Holland, and I want just to say something about the relationship between parents and teachers. And I
Please.
find really the relation is crucial for fostering a supportive educational environment and enhancing student access. A positive partnership between teachers and parents can lead to improved communication, collaboration, and understanding of student needs. We can say also teachers should provide parents with a regular update on their child academic progress, behavior, and any concern that may arise. Establishing sorry about the pronunciation, channels for parents to share their insight, concern, and questions encourage two-way communication.
Wonderful. Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah,
so,
thank you very much.
Thank you, this gentleman, for sharing his views. Very detailed feedback with us. And I see another hand raised. Do you want to unmute yourself and share it with us? Eriza, is it Eriza? Would you like to speak? Or we have another participant. Kyla, do you want to share with us your view? Please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Mayor. Hello, all. Good morning. I am Khalid Saleh from KSA. I have about 30 years of experience with a lot of stages of education. Really, it's very important to share, and it's crucial to share with the parents. In many cases, from my experience, a lot of cases have been get better with sharing the knowledge of some cases for some students. We don't know as a teachers a lot of things about students. So from the cooperation with the parents, we can get more information about their sons, so we can deal better with them.
Right, you're right, absolutely. And I agree with you. Thank you. Thank you, this gentleman, for sharing. Thank you, sir, for sharing.
Thank
and
you.
I know that Isaira has been waiting for quite some time. Would you like to share? And then we'll move on to another slide. Isaira, would you like to share and unmute yourself?
Isra, Miss Isra, please unmute.
Yes, I'm sure. Yes, I'd like to ask you to unmute my. Actually, I agree with Mr. Mohammed and Mr. Khalid. I'm Isra Mohammed from Egypt. I'm a Real Cairo mentor, and I'd like to share my opinion regarding the relationship between the teacher and parents. And I think that they represent the isosceles care for the child or the student. So they have to help each other according to the feedback represented to the parents, and also parents, they have to, for example, show their kids abilities. For example, according to the intelligence or their multiple intelligences, they have to represent that for teachers so that they can come up with the ideas and activities, strategies that related to their children. So I think it's really important to make, this cooperation between parents and teachers for the students. So we have to do so.
Thank you. you. So, thank you very much. And go with all the slides. We have other interaction. So we heard about participants just shared the importance of the collaboration between teacher, student, and parent. And you're absolutely right. And I agree with that. Even I myself, as a parent, I agree that parents has an important role to play. And let me go to my next slide. So let me quote here. Why now? Because as a parent, I think that we can't escape from saying that we don't have any role to play in a child's education. And I quote here a very famous philosopher, John Dewey. His quote: "Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself." And I think you would agree with me that, especially during COVID time, as a parent, we stand out in a role to educate our children. A chance to go to COVID, because we all had a role in more collaborative with the parents, with the teachers and the children. And not, I'm saying this, and I'm hoping that this section will not only have educators here with us. I hope parents can also be here with us so that they get this important message. So let us get into it. Collaboration. I always mention here about the collaborative role, and some of the participants also mentioned about the important role of parents. But I would like to highlight the key word here is collaboration. You can see here, this is a circular feedback mode from teacher, student, and parent. To me, I think that we are working on a collaboration mode. We are not working one way. It is not a one-way traffic, but teacher, student, and parent, they all have their role to play in education, and they are all giving feedback and response to each other on how we could improve the education for our child. Example of how I make I could implement the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, is an important message to our society as a parent. Another interactive moment, and I would love that to hear from you. And just quickly, let me know, have you heard about SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals? If you have heard about this, can you please type A? If you have never heard about it, just type B. So let's just get into the chat room, and I'd love to hear your feedback. So this is a pretty quick response. So I can see the response is like half. Quite a number of you have heard about SDGs. So let's get into it. Thank you for all your response and feedback, and I will love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's okay if you haven't heard about SDGs. No worries about it, because we are getting into it. By the United Nations, put forward by the United Nations. You can see here, the SDGs, they have different numbers, meaning that, thank you for one of the participants putting it in the chat room. SDGs stand for Sustainable Development Goals. You can see in the slide here, there are different numbers attaching into different goals. SDG, why do I need to mention about SDGs here as an example today? Because SDG is something very close to my heart that I, as an educator and as a parent, I've been advocating in our community, because we think that, or personally, I think that it is something that is important for our future generation. So SDGs, for those who haven't heard about SDGs, so here are some of the background. So Sustainable Development Goals were adopted by the United Nations in 2015. The aim of the SDG goals is to eliminate poverty, reduce inequality, and we also hoped by establishing these goals to create a more peaceful and 2030, hoping that we will be able to create a better world than the SDGs. So sorry about that, but I'm trying to, screen cap some of the media article that I wrote in Chinese, because I told you earlier, I also wrote on a newspaper about education and parenting. So I'm making use as a parent, as well as an educator, I'm trying to make use of my own network in the media to spread the importance of SDGs, because I want my community, the children, know about this importance. So I try to make use of my own network and my experience to spread the words. So yes, you're right. I see in the chat room, some of you are already very familiarized with SDGs. For example, I'm just quoting a few examples here. SDGs goal number 1 is to eliminate poverty. Number 2 is to eliminate hunger. And then number 13 is about climate action. And then 16 is about peace, justice, goals. Number 17 is about partnership for the goals. So there are different numbers attached to the SDG goals to achieve different aims or goals. So why am I talking about SDGs? Because as I mentioned, that is something that I want to advocate for our community, for the future generations in Hong Kong. So I will make good use of my own education networks, my own professional networks as a PR, public relations. And I will write media articles on social media or newspaper to promote the importance of having SDGs in Hong Kong, in our community and elsewhere. And this is some of the SDGs examples in Hong Kong that I would like to share with you as a parent, what I have been doing. For example, we have different competitions or activities that are related to SDGs goals. For example, here, you can see on the left-hand side, there are many secondary schools participated in this SDGs related competition. And wherever I see all these competitions available in our community, I will encourage as I participate to take part in these competitions so that they can learn more about this important topic. So these are the secondary school students from Hong Kong participating, joining this online SDGs program, how they could, activate to work out what they learned from school to promote SDGs. There are many, many different kinds of SDGs campaign in Hong Kong for both primary schools, for the younger kids, or for secondary schools kids, so that they can participate and learn more about these Sustainable Development Goals by United Nations and what they could do to create their dream projects for the future. So these are all the participating schools from Hong Kong, from primary school as well. So in Hong Kong, we are not just having primary and secondary schools focusing on SDGs, but we have here, I can see, I can show you from this, we have university level schools. For example, Lingnam University. University students are also very aware of this. So whenever I see all this information available online, I will show to my daughter, to our school community, what they can do to participate, to learn more, and to get the right information. So this is from another university called the Chinese University of Hong Kong, what they have been doing to promote Sustainable Development Goals. This is from University of Hong Kong. What they even implemented the SDGs into their climate action policy. So another interactive moment. I understand that some of you have already got the knowledge about SDGs goals. Some of you from the chat room have been telling me about what they have been doing. And in this moment, we'll take like a minute or so. If you could, in the chat room, tell me about any interesting SDGs project that you have been doing at school or in your community. We'd love to hear that. If you have any projects to share, please type A, yes. And if you haven't done any projects so far, just type B, no, but we can, in the moment or so, we can hear from other participants, learning from each other. So if you could move to the chat room and let us know if you have any interesting SDG, Sustainable Development Goal project to share, please let us know. And or in your right beside your name, you could use the emoji and raise your hand so that I know that you have something to share. If you have nothing about SDGs projects in your community, in your country, that's okay. We can always learn from each other later on. I see very interesting answers in the chat room. I'll come back to the tech talk in a moment. If you have any interesting SDGs projects to share, let me know. I will come back to your sharing sections. Okay, so I see quite a number of you have interesting SDGs projects to live. So why don't we start from you, sir, Mr. Mohammed Salman? Would you like to unmute yourself and share with us your SDG project? Mr. Mohammed Salman, would you like to share, please? Randa, would you please help to unmute this gentleman?
If he can just raise his hand again, I can ask him to unmute, but because we have multiple Mohammeds.
Oh, right. Mr. Mohammed Salman, would you like to raise your hand using the emoji?
Can I
Yes,
talk? Okay. Yeah, right.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Sorry, I have a problem with the mic anyway.
No problem.
If I can introduce myself, we have a organization for sustainable development and human rights, and it is a called Arabic or Arabic Foundation for Sustainable Development and Human Rights, and it is a bridge between the European world and Arabic world. But anyway, from my knowledge, I can also talk about education in relation to the goals of sustainable development, and I am advanced in that because I am the chief executive of the organization. If we talk about no poverty, schools can collaborate with local government and NGOs to provide financial literacy programs for students and families to help them understand budgeting, saving, and investing. If you talk about the second goal of sustainable development is zero hunger, to the relation to school can be partnered with local farms to implement school gardens and farms school programs, providing students with fresh produce while teaching them about nutrition and agriculture. If we talk about the goal 3, collaboration between schools and health organization, and if we talk about equality is the goal for quality education, we can talk about give an example that school can work with parents, community organization, and business to develop mentorship programs to provide students with guidance, resources, and support for their academic journey. If we take also the goal 5, gender equality, education structure can partner with women's rights organization to create programs that empower girls through education, leadership, training, and awareness campaigns about gender equality. Number 6, clean water and sanitation Here also school can collaborate with local government to improve access to clean water and sanitation facilities, ensuring that all students have a safe and hygienic environment. If you take also the goal number 7, affordable and clean energy, schools can implement renewable energy projects such as solar panel and in partnership with local energy companies, promoting energy efficiency and environmental awareness among students. Number 8 concern decent work and economic growth. Schools can collaborate with local business to provide vocational training and internship, equipping students with skills and experiences that prepare them for workforce. Industry innovation and infrastructure. Educational institution can partner with technology companies to create programs to encourage innovation and entrepreneurship among students, such as hackathons or startup incubators. Anyway,
Thank you so much, Mr. Muhammad. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Sorry
thank you.
to interrupt you. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas. Thank you. We'll get back to you, Ms. Marina. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So I guess we have different opinion about your projects from SDGs, right? Do you hear me okay now? Is it better? I've quickly changed my place to speak. I hope that's better.
Yes, it is better. Thank you so much, Ms. Marina.
Thank you.
We have to also turn off our cameras. This is for the audience, just to make sure that internet connection hopefully gets better.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So let me carry on. Thank you for all the welcoming feedback and response. And we have time later on. I would love to hear all your feedback about the interesting SDGs projects. So why don't I just carry on and share what my experience in Hong Kong would be. So promoting SDGs at home and at our community. So I just mentioned earlier in my presentation, and I hope that's okay, just give a quick recap because of my glitchy voices just now. What I have been talking about is, as a parent and as an educator, what I have been doing is to promote SDGs, because this is something that is close to my heart. And I hope that I would be able to make use of my own education and professional network to promote this important topic about SDG, sustainable development, sustainable living at our home, at our school community. And wherever I can see there is information available about SDGs, I will tell my daughter, I will tell the school community that they can be aware of. And just knowledge learning is not enough. So that's why I share with you all the competitions, all the activities, all the campaigns available in Hong Kong from primary, secondary, and university level. Whenever I can see all these opportunities or activities available about SDGs, I would let my daughter know, let the school community know that they can participate. Because I believe that through learning out the experience, they will be able to consolidate what they have learned, to consolidate the knowledge. So get back to the second part of my presentation is about promoting SDGs at home and community. So over the past 3 years, I've been invited by different organizations, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, school communities, schools in Hong Kong or elsewhere outside Hong Kong. I've been invited to share my experience introducing SDGs, implementing SDGs at school level and society level. And I always remind participants to look out for world events or world organizations. For example, some of the starter here, we could always, because everybody knows that internet has lots of information, right? And we need to teach our future generation, our children, to fact check, to get the right, correct information, reliable sources of information. When we start with, we will always look for information by international organizations like OECD or UNESCO. OECD stands for Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. We will always look for reliable resources online to get the correct information. And then when we talk about SDGs, I will always look at UNESCO. UNESCO is a very reliable and resourceful platform. As you can see here, there are SDG for Knowledge Hub that children can always look up for information. There are also news and stories. There are also regional campaign, global campaign, that if children are interested, if parents are interested, if educators or teachers are interested, they can always look up for information from all these reliable resources. You can see here another example from UNESCO websites that have lots of important and reliable information that you can look up to if you're interested in SDGs. And OECD is another important international organization that you can always look at for information. For example, they're focusing on the Program for International Student Assessment, the PISA test, about student assessment in different their abilities. They're also having different campaigns that you can check out if you are interested in education sector. So when I was speaking to different organizations or different school communities about, as a parent, what I believe in and what I hope my children will learn, one thing that I always teach is about mindset. Because as a parent, I think that it is important, not just for the children, to have a positive or growth mindset during the pandemic or beyond. For a parent, it is important for them to have a growth mindset. We all know that as educators, a growth mindset is originated from Professor Carol Dweck from the University of Stanford. She has developed this set of growth mindset versus fixed mindset. A growth mindset is telling people to, you can do everything with the ability, with your hard work and your experience. You can always move beyond what you have done or what you have established, because you are not afraid of challenges. Versus if you are having a fixed mindset, you will always be afraid of challenges or setbacks. So for parents, I always remind myself and my school and my children as well to always possess a growth mindset, because a growth mindset will help you face different challenges or setbacks and stand up as where you are. And because we are talking about SDGs, because we're talking about sustainable future, sustainable development, so I always encourage parents to think, to move beyond from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, and then to a green mindset. If you're wanting to, looking forward to develop a future development, a future sustainable development with your children, that's why you need to have to change your mindset, your belief. And I always, apart from mindset, I always believe that it is important to let our children to experience, to have experiential learning. So here I quote our learning theory. It's about experiential learning. I always share about this importance of not just about textbook learnings, because we all know that children who have lots of homework, tests, assessment from schools and from textbooks. But it is also important for children, especially younger children, to learn from the experiences. How they can do that? For example, if you are promoting SDGs, you can always take a goal that you are very close to your heart. For example, climate action, climate change. And then you can bring your kids or children or your school community out, for example, beach cleaning up the beach, or making some sustainable development like the green cycle, doing recycling bins at school to help with the environment. Through all these experiential learning, through learning from experiences, children will learn best. As you can see from this slide, this is a learning cycle. How children will learn best when they are learning from experience, hands-on experience, and then they, through the thinking process, the doing process, and most importantly, the reflective process, meaning that after doing the, after having the experience, they will have the moment to reflect, to think about what they have done, what they could have done better, and what they have learned from all these learning experience. So I here would like to present another quote, a famous quote from Benjamin Franklin about experiential, the importance of experiential learning. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn. So this is the important gist about experiential learning, not just about textbook learning in these days, but we need to let the children experience through different hands-on learning moments. So let me tell you what I've done in promoting SDGs. You know, in Hong Kong, there are different islands in our society. And then there are also different biodiversity in our society. So during COVID time, because we are all locked down, we have nothing to do. So our family brought our daughter to experience different biodiversity and different beautiful landscape in Hong Kong. And through all this experiential learning, my daughter would then be interested in learning more about how to promote a better sustainable living, a better sustainable environment for our society and for her school. So as I told you, I am a media person. I'm also a student. That's why, and also SDG is something very close to my heart. That's why I make use of these picture books, storybooks. During the COVID time, I did not only bring my daughter to experiential learning, to experience different environment and learning opportunities. I also work on different picture books with my daughter through having experience, and then we write all these picture books. These picture books are appointed by the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region Education Bureau. They invited me to write all these. Actually, I ended up wrote 30 of these books about SDGs to promote SDGs, not just about climate action, but also about diversity and inclusion for our society. Because in Hong Kong, there are different ethnic minorities. We are in Hong Kong, we are of a diverse culture and environment. So I wrote all this book, and then I have a question from the participants. Actually, I wrote all the stories in the book with reference to Hong Kong's history and culture and different landscape. And then I wrote all this book, and then we have electric pen, so that when the kids do not understand some of the words in English and in Chinese, they can use the pen and then scan the QR code. They can listen the story in both English and Chinese version. So thank you to the government of Hong Kong. They sponsor the publication of all these, a set of 30 books to promote SDGs. So it is also about diversity and inclusion in our society. So you can see in the middle of the slide, it's, in Chinese, it says environmental protection. So through environmental protection, the children can learn from reading all these picture books and about different ethnic minorities, different cultures in our community. So I'll later on come back with how can we find all the books. Actually, the bio and short story of these books are available online, and you can actually listen to the story brief online. It's free of charge. And then I will here like to share another story of me and my daughter, that how we could promote SDGs. Because I mentioned about experiential learning, I hope that I'll be able to teach my daughter not just the hard figures, not just the facts and figures about SDGs, but also she'll be able to not just talk the talk, but walk the talk, meaning that she'll be able to, after all these experiences, she'll be able to live out the experiences and do something for our community and our school community. That's why I designed a book with my daughter. Right after COVID, we actually published this book called Mysterious Someone online. It is available on Amazon and Kindle. And now I have a publisher printed it, the book for free. And then this is called Mysterious Someone. Someone is in an outlying island in Hong Kong. And it is a very, very beautiful place. And then it has also the only nesting area for green turtles in Hong Kong and in South China Sea. But nobody take notice of it because it's a very remote island. But we went there one day during COVID days when there was no school, and then we went there and explored the area and find out this beautiful place. So after we went there, we wrote this book about two little green turtles, the experience and how they got on the beach and find out all these, adults, the human beings. You can see Aiden and Eve. Aiden and Eve, they are the two green turtles from South China Sea coming all the way to Hong Kong to lay their eggs for the future generations. But then they found out that this place in Hong Kong is not very livable. It's not very friendly because they found that the human beings were destroying the beach and then making them not an environment good for them to have the future generations. But then the story turns. They're trying to scare away the human beings, as you can see from here. But then in the end, some of the human beings, they're quite good. They're good in the sense that they're helping the green turtles to clean up the beach, helping them to realize that they're doing something not good to the green turtles and the other biodiversity. So they clean up the beach, and then they help them to do the beach cleaning, and then making sure the green turtles are savable, to have their eggs. So I have a question from the chat room asking how these stories are related to the topics in the textbook. Because in Hong Kong, we are having lessons about climate action, climate change. And the SDGs is also having topics in our syllabus in Hong Kong, in primary and secondary school level. So I'm trying to make use of these living stories from our community, putting it into pictures, putting it in stories that younger children will be able, to understand the important topic about sustainability or sustainable future. So through all these stories, they will be able to, understand something that is a very important topic, but very difficult for the younger children. So we'll be able to link the storybook to the syllabus, the teaching syllabus. So I'm very lucky enough to have these storybooks to be exhibited in different exhibitions over the past year. For example, in Italy, in Bologna, in Beijing, in China, in Guangzhou, in China, to exhibit this book about the promotions that I've been doing. So apart from the storybooks, the experiences that I mentioned earlier, I also work with different NGOs in our community. And hopefully one day in your community, I will be able to come and speak to you and meet you in person to share about the experiences that I have working in my community. So I remember earlier in the chat room, there's when I asked about what are the SDGs projects, interesting projects that you have done. And I remember a participant share about that TED talk in the chat room. And yes, I did a TED talk. Well, actually, I did twice TED talks in my community in Hong Kong for the kids to speak their own experiences of what they could do to help create a better future. And then I think TED Talk is a very powerful platform and a tools for children because you could, get the children to get the knowledge about the topics they would be interested in sharing. And then they could also get the community, the friends, the teachers to come to this topic together, and then work on or even get the kids as an ambassador to share this important topic to other people in Hong Kong. So, and yes, you're right. SDG goal is our common vision and mission and vision towards 2030. So in the past 2 years, I had 2 TED Talks. One, I had my daughter to speak about her own experience about social emotional learning and what she has done in writing the books. And then I have also other amazing kids. They are very amazing because they had did all the researches that gone through the experiential learning process to come to speak to other people in our community. Even the audiences are all adults, are all teachers, but they're not afraid and stand up in front of all the adults to speak because they have belief something that is very close to their heart to share with people in our community. And I have also worked in different school communities in Hong Kong. For example, you can see the pictures here. We are doing all these workshops, doing enzymes, using some of the unused fruits or some of the food residue in our community, and to help create all these natural ingredients for food pesticides or for farming in our community. So we have been working in different school communities to, again, we're not just talk the talk, we're walk the talk. We hope we will be able, through our experience and through our network and through all the things that we have learned to teach the younger generations to have hands-on experiences. So these are all the references that I made. And yes, that's my presentation. And if I think Renda, I think we do have some time for Q&A.
Yes,
We
we
like
do
that.
have time.
Yeah. So if any participants in our group today would like to share, you can raise your hand and let Renda to unmute you. We can have some time, to have a chit chat and discussions before this session ends.
We have Hiba الشاعر, I think.
Yes, it's me.
Yes. تفضلي.
I was really fascinated by the presentation. It's so inspirational. And as for when talking about the educating for sustainable development, in my school we are mainly concerned with that because we're located in Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is striving towards the fulfillment of Vision 2030, which is mainly concerned with the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. So in my school, we have applied several projects to foster this experience. And the projects were mainly concerned with the idea of creating like an interrelation between the local community within the school and the outside community in the country generally. And we are thriving for creating initiatives internationally. Now, one of the projects that we have started with was the MUN program, which was mainly concerned with the slogan, sustainability is everyone's responsibility. We tackled several issues through which the students were aiming at providing sustainable solutions for worldwide problems. And here we started to build the culture. The word sustainability is not mainly concerned with the environment only, because this is one of the most common stereotypes that we're having in our communities. Whenever we're talking about sustainability, we're just talking about the environment. It's not only about that. It's about creating like long-term solutions that are applicable and effective in the same time. And TED Talks was only another area where we created also reflections on Vision 2030 and how can it be applied more effectively throughout the upcoming years. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Shall we have Iman?
Good morning. I just want to begin. I'm a student and I'm contacting from my mom's phone. In my school so far, we are partnering with TAS, the Alliance of Sustainable Schools, and apparently I'm an ambassador. So your work is amazing. I'm really being inspired. We are also talking about the Sustainable Development Goals, and we're currently focusing on the uniforms, how the materials we're using and stuff like that across the globe. So do you have any, number one, have you made any sustainable projects in schools around the globe before?
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. I've mentioned earlier that in our community in Hong Kong, we have different kind of activities, campaigns or competitions for children or for young adults to participate towards the goal of SDGs. So as a parent, I always encourage other parents or teachers or educators to look up online, because there are all information or competition or related campaign available online. You can have a look, desktop search online to see if there are any available campaigns. And then one of the quick direction tip for you is that if you're interested in writing, in a storybook writing or picture book writing, there is a platform called the SDGs Publishing Compact. Is from the United Nations. So I can type it in the chat room later on, that you can, if you have a book or any publication available towards SDGs, you are very welcome to contribute to this platform. Because in this platform, they're calling for 1,000 SDGs publications or books by the end of this year. So hoping to gather all these information together as a global platform, so people can look at each other's work and also how to contribute towards a common goal. So the other thing is about Tech Talk, because you are a student, right? Because I see some of the comments from the chat room that they're also organizing different Tech Talks in their own school, in their own community. So if you're a student, why don't you gather yourself with other like-minded classmates or your teachers. Talk to your teachers about the possibility of having a tech talk in your school community so that you can gather all these like-minded friends with you to organize a topic relating to sustainability, SDGs, and then you can come up with a tech talk of your own. And then because the good thing about this tech talk is you can upload all your videos online, and people from across the globe can see your videos, can see your sharing on the internet, and then it will be making your sharing more powerful. So these are some of the feedback. And I'll type, I can see audiences are very helpful. There are also different kind of information available if you're very new to this topic, like the MOOCs, like edX. edX is also another important information tool for you to look up on information. And
thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Do we have Ala?
Ala or Ala? I'm not sure.
Ala.
Can you keep Ala? Yeah.
Good morning, everyone, and hello. I'm talking to you from Jordan. I want to talk about sustainable development. We, as an elementary school, we have started small and we went off from there. We have started recycling projects from carton boxes and from any materials that are considered to be waste. And we have made many art projects inside the school, and with partnership with all the local companies and the parents. And we have established meetings to spread awareness between students and their families about how to protect their environment, how to reduce the waste from their houses and from everywhere else. And we have made many progress, a lot of progress in this area, because the students are now self-aware of their own responsibility toward the environment, and how to do it and how to encourage others to join. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your feedback. And I see from the chat room there is another audience. There's another audience who would like to speak about the uniform system in schools in general. Ms. Iman Mustasha.
If they can raise their hand, it would be easier for us to spot them. Can we give the space for Mr. Muhammad to speak until she raises her hand?
Okay, sure. Please go ahead.
Mr. Muhammad?
Yeah, thank you very much. Once again, I want just to ask a question about some issues that face our institution. As I have mentioned, we have a Foundation for Sustainable Development and Human Rights, and we are facing a engagement of diverse community in education and sustainable development, which requires sensitivity, inclusivity, and willingness to adopt, because we are dealing with a community with different background. And I have here concern a question which load as follow. What if the strategies have proven effective in engaging diverse communities in educational and sustainable development initiatives, and how can we tailor these strategies to meet the unique needs and background for our community member? You can point out at a strategy, engagement, tailoring, and something like that. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. Very, very good question. I think even in Hong Kong, in my society, even Hong Kong is a very, very small place with just 7 million people, a very small place, but we have different people with coming from all walks of life with different cultures. So there's no one tin for all cookies, right? So we have always tailor-made different programs, or like what you said, strategies to suit different school communities or suit different societies' needs. So I take an example. For example, I introduced Tech Talk to our school community because our school community is more forward-looking. They're always looking for something new, and then that they can, their communities always are using online technology more often than other schools. So, and Tech Talk, you can always refer to online videos or playbacks, or even you can do a Zoom section for text section. So in that sense, we are doing the text talk for one community, but some other students or some other school communities, they may not prefer Tech Talk, because Tech Talk involves lots of hard work, because you need a lot of preparation, from recruitment, preparation, student preparation, finding a venue, finding funding, and so on. So some school communities may not prefer Tech Talk because it will be it involves lots of hard work. And in some school communities or in some societies, they would prefer having competitions or activities. And because, I'm from Hong Kong, I'm from an Asian culture background, that Asian kids, Asian moms, you must have heard about tiger moms or helicopter mom. They will always compete with each other through different assessments, through competitions, through different exams, so, and get certificates. And then, so all these for school community that is always wanting to have competitions or activities that they would have drive for more participation. So I understand that some schools, they would make use of competitions in terms of creating SDGs projects for the students to participate. So another example I would draw is not just doing storybook, but also they would have some hands-on experience. For example, in some communities, they would prefer hands-on experience. Some younger kids would prefer having beach cleaning in different communities, in different beaches. So I would suggest if you are looking into having any activities or campaigns in your own community, look at the demographics, look at the needs of your community, and then why don't you start a very simple research or survey about the preferences of your target audience. What do they prefer? Do they prefer more tech-savvy? Are they more tech-savvy? That they would prefer more online communities, online campaigns, or they would prefer competitions? They would prefer that the kids will be able, to compete each other, or they would prefer the kids, having more opportunities. They even can have debate or competitions with each other. They could win some medals or trophies. Yeah. I hope this answers your question. Shall we have one more, Randa? Do we have time for one more? Like,
Yes. Yeah, we do have time. Let's listen to Miss Amani.
Hi, everyone. I think sustainable development needs simple thing and depends on the partnership, society partnership. They are principal demands to have a sustainable projects at the schools. In my school, we have any initiations that provided by MOE, a distinguished apply solution for challenges, because they believe that experienced teacher should face the challenges anyway in his school or her school. And we have a project, we established art studio. That depends on the partnership of community that help us to establish this art studio, and it is beneficial not just for painting or talented students in painting, but it serves many fields at the school, such as making flashcards to English teachers, or making posters to science or any subject else.
Yes, thank
Ms. Marina, we cannot hear you. If you please unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Randa. Thank you, Amina. I will be happy to hear from you more in the future about what you have done. And thank you for reminding me about one of the other strategies that I missed, because I think Mr. Mohammed asked me about the strategies, right? The other thing that we have been doing in Hong Kong, we started implementing in Hong Kong, is to promote SDGs through arts and culture. I think this is a very important aspect. Arts and culture is a very important tool, especially for younger kids, also for adults as well, actually, to express themselves, their thinking, their thoughts, and the teaching behind SDGs through arts and culture. So we have in Hong Kong, all we have been doing is we have different shopping malls, and then we actually talk to the property developer to have the shopping mall, part of the shopping mall, to have some space for our students to display their artworks about what they have been thinking about a better future. What about what their thoughts about a green future? So they can, through drawing, through paintings, they can express themselves. And then the good thing about exhibition is not just about the participating students, but also for other people, members of a community to see the artworks, and then to get people to talk about this important topic together, to raise their awareness. I think I see one of the question from the comment from the chat session is, how do we kickstart? How do we start off these SDGs project? Well, actually, I mentioned about you have to know your demographic, your target audience, what your culture or what your people prefer, be they online activities, online learning, or other competition or campaigns. But I think the first step, first step, as an educator, as a teacher, as a parent ourselves, we need to learn some of the basic facts. That's why in my PowerPoint presentation, I mentioned about learning from online or from reliable sources, like different international organizations. You need to learn. You need to have the correct facts and figures. You need to have the knowledge to talk about SDGs, sustainable development. And the next step, you have to, I always remind myself not just to talk the talk, but walk the talk. You need to engage your community to do something, to do a campaign or activity through experiential learning with your children. And then you can also promote this campaign. Like me, I'm writing media article online, and in my community, I always spread the words by my media columns so that people will know more about this topic. So yeah. So do we have time for Ms. Mona to share her feedback? She has raised her hand for some time. Thank you for your patience.
We have time. Ms. Mona, please.
Hi. I want to share an experience with the competition that the kids were participating in, thinking about how this sustainable ideas, how they can implement it in real life. And they just created the fabric that made our sustainable materials. So they even earned a prize for the British Council competition in this, and movie making, and how they create something new. Also, they made an artwork for how to reduce using the materials and how to recycle the material that they have. They have also this thing that they can collect any recycled field and create new things out of it. So I want just to conclude on this. That was nice experience for kids also. This is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mona, for sharing your initiative. I see from the chat room that one question about, because one member of the audience asked, what can parents do if our kids are not listening to us? That's very normal. That's very normal, especially when kids are getting into the adolescence, when they're growing up, they will tend to be with their peers, with their friends. So that's why I remember in the beginning of my presentation, I talk about the collaboration model, that parent, teacher, and student work together. Remember, we all work together hand in hand. Sometimes it all depends, right? A participant just commented on the chat room. It all depends on the students or the child's age, because in different age level, they have different development. So that's why what I promote here is try to have a collaborative relationship with your child, with your teacher, because parent should be educated as well, because I'm a parent myself. And then I keep telling myself that I have to move with the time, and then the work together with the teacher and the child, because you cannot just, in the past, in my parents' generation, they will leave everything to the teacher's hand, because they think education is, something that the teacher should be responsible for. But time has changed, and then we all understand that it is important for teacher, parent, and student work together, hand in hand, because sometimes we may not be able, as a parent, to work 100% with our children, because parents are sometimes busy at home or at work. They have other duties to attend to, but we should be able to realize the important role that parents should take in this collaborative model. Yep. Do we have any more questions from members of the audience that you like? Any burning questions, anything that you would like to, or any experience that you would like to share, any good practices for us to learn from? Oh, Mr. Iman, would you like to unmute yourself?
Ms. Iman, please unmute yourself.
Hello, Ms. Iman. Maybe
we'll ask Isra first.
Yeah, Isra, please go ahead.
Yeah, hello again. Actually, I'd like to share my experience with parents and how can we let parents be cooperative with us. Actually, according to my experience, I'd like to share that when I started my course or the academic course, so I asked my students, or asked also the organization that worked in, to get a parent meeting with them. And actually, I started talking with them about what I'm going to teach the students, what we have to do. Actually, I showed some instructions that were clear to them and to also students. The most important point that I asked them, or I told them, that I really care for your children. So I want them to improve their future. So please help me to work together for the benefit of your children. When they actually felt that I really need to help them, so they became cooperative with me. And actually, they told me that if you need to do anything, so we are, all of you, we believe in you, so you can do anything that you'd like for the benefit of our children. So actually, that one was really important. And it wasn't such the session or the orientation for them. I actually asked them to meet monthly, every month. This will help me to understand the problem of the children. Maybe they have some problem with their parents, and maybe there is something else. So teachers should know everything about the students so that they can be helpful and they can come up with the strategies, with the ideas that will help the students too. I think it could be easy at the beginning, but I think it's gonna be helpful later on. Thank you.
Thank you. I have one quick feedback to your response. Well, I remember in my slide, I mentioned about mindset, right? I think these days, not just the teachers need to possess growth mindset. I think I'm speaking as a parent here. I think parents need to have a growth mindset as well, because and then it is important for the teachers, not just the teachers, but the schools, the school board, the educators, the principal themselves need to implement from top-down approach, because in our schools in Hong Kong, we have parent training workshops that are initiated by the school, by the principal, that where the school principals keep reminding us as parents, we all need to keep learning ourselves. Give us because the time has the moments of our time is changing so fast that we all need to keep up with our students, keep up with our children, and then to learn. Not just about new trends, but what we need to do about a good parent, right? So we all need to learn. So in our school in Hong Kong, we always have parent workshop for the schools to have the teachers or outside professional to come to talk to parents about the parenting skills, and also some of the latest trends that we need to keep ourselves updated. So I would suggest you can discuss not just to the parent themselves, but at a school level, talk to the school administrator, the school board, like having some school workshop that will be very helpful, because when you have a group of parents together, they will understand the importance of you remember the collaborative efforts, not just the school, not just the teachers doing the work, but the parents need to shoulder the responsibility of educating their own child. So this is about the parenting workshop. And then in our school community in Hong Kong, we will also have different training for parents, and then different conferences for parents to go to learn. Because even I'm an educator and a student in education, but I always find myself lack the enough knowledge to teach my own child. So therefore, we always need to get get all these parenting workshops. So maybe Randa, we should have another sections about parenting workshop next time.
Like the word that I heard the most and read the most is inspired. And I think your workshop has been really inspiring for everyone. Thank you so much. Parenting, of course, involving maybe with you never know, in the future, having you more and more workshops or talks. That would be amazing. I don't know do you have anything else to share, Ms. Marina, or the audience? I think we still have 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think we have missed another lady.
Iman, but I could not unmute her. She lowered her hand.
Oh, okay. Iman.
Here she is. I see her back. Iman, can you unmute yourself now?
Hello.
أهلا وسهلا.
Miss, I'm joining from my mom's phone, so I am Haneen.
That's you again. You're welcome back,
Yeah.
Haneen. Yes, go ahead, dear.
So as I said before, currently we are focusing on the uniform systems in our schools. So what is your opinion on improving the uniform system for like not using polyester, or improving labor in garments, or not using cotton because it's a thirsty plant? So what is your opinion on improving that?
Thank you, Iman. And I think it is not just one person's responsibility to do this. So if you are very into this topic, and why don't you be your school ambassador for this campaign? And then being a school ambassador, being a student ambassador, we help you gather the like-minded friends, and then to start a campaign, to start all these plastic usage, plastic wastage, and then start a school campaign. And I look forward to seeing your TED Talk speak about how to stop all this plastic wastage and all this. And then before TED Talk, you can always start something small at school, like doing all these posters, campaigns, printed poster at school, or even doing it online, raising awareness by spreading the words, doing some posters, and then spreading a campaign, asking people to understand about this issue. And another example is that I remember there is a school newspaper or school circulation that you can do it at school, that you can let your community know about the importance of this issue.
Thank you so much. And maybe we'll listen to the last participant, Muhammad Salim. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much once again. I've just something to share with the whole group. You know, I have called for collaboration and partnership with our institution, which is the headquarter of it in Holland, here in the south of the Netherlands. And we are an institution, the research for NGOs in our area and the Arabic world and Europe that align with our interests and goals. And we are looking for organization focusing on environmental issues, education, health, or social justice. We are also looking forward to attend local events and also international events, so as this one of all today, which is organizing workshop or community forums to learn about active NGOs and their initiative. We are also looking forward to attend meetings and events organized by NGOs to connect with staff, volunteer, and community members. We try also to reach out the NGO representatives to discuss shared interests and explore potential collaboration opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muhammad, for sharing, and maybe we'll have you in the future in our QRTA initiatives. Thank you so much. Okay, Ms. Marina, any closing remarks would you like to share with everyone?
Well, thank you very much once again to Queen Rania Teacher Academy for having me today. And then I enjoyed the section very much. And thank you so much to Randa as well. So back to you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Marina. This was truly an inspiring workshop. And thank you so much for our participants for their active engagement. In conclusion of this workshop at the Queen Rania Teacher Academy Forum 2024, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to all of you for your active and inspiring participation. We hope that this workshop has enriched your ideas and educational skills. We would like to remind you that your certificate of attendance will be sent to you by email, and we encourage you to complete the feedback survey, which will assist us in enhancing future events. I have seen some questions about the feedback survey. It will be sent to you by the end of the event in your emails. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the second day of panel discussions. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you again, Ms. Marina, for your participation and sharing your experience.